Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my channel again today. This is another stash layout. This one is using my March 2020 homemade kit and using the online class. I'm sorry, I just had a complete mind blank. The online class that Plumb created for an online cybercrop that I did. I think it was over the Easter weekend, maybe? I can't even remember. It was a little while ago. So what I'm basically following Sue's instructions. I had never ever thought of applying color like this, so this was super fun. I've got my craft mat here, and I have scribbled on the distress crayons in the colors that I had picked out for my kit, and scribbled them onto my mat and smooshed my white cardstock down. Now I have not treated my cardstock at all, and you will notice that I'm you can see I go a little bit heavy-handed and then I'm like, oh, tap, tap, tap. I am actually rubbing some of my cardstock off. What I've got there are little chunks of the crayon that didn't fully blend out, but that's okay. So I have added my color there, and I decided I wanted it to be have a little bit more depth. So I have got the same, not the same, I'm so sorry. I have got the ink spray that I had in my kit, and I have literally just added some sprinkles to those splatters, to those smooshes of color, and I'm going to leave that overnight to dry, I believe. What am I doing? Soaking up some of the excess water, because there was quite a bit of water. I was rather impressed with how well this page held up actually with all this water. And I'm just kind of moving the color around the tiniest bit without moving it too much. And I'm really happy with how this background came together. Super quick, super easy, super fun. And no two backgrounds would ever be the same, which is pretty awesome. Just blending that color out a little bit. And there is my background all dry. I did go in and add splatters as well. What I've got here is some different patterns that I had chosen out of my kit. And again, I'm just following Sue's instructions on putting these layers together. And I'm using my scissors to trim them up because I'm not going for perfect. Now, I've never taken a Sue Plumb class in real life. She promised me one when I go over in November though, so Sue, I'm going to hold you to that. I decided that maybe I did want this one straight because those little hearts are in straight lines. I did pull out my trimmer, not that it really matters in the end because I'm pretty sure I ruffle up all the edges of the papers. You have to bear with me. It was a little while ago that I created this. The photos that I'm scrapbooking today are of both of the boys. They are on my oldest's 10th birthday, which was in January this year. If you've been following me along, you know that we redid his bedroom for him, Harry Potter, and one of his birthday gifts was the entire Harry Potter 7-book collection box set. Neither of our children are particularly strong readers. Our little one is a stronger reader than the big one, which is totally cool because they both have their own things. But this night we were heading out to dinner for his birthday, and as he walked out, he goes, "Mum, wait!" And I almost fell over when he said this. He goes, "Can I please take a book to read?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Did you just say what I think you just said?" He was like, "Can we take a book for me to read?" Yes, of course we can. He goes, "I want to take one of my Harry Potter books." They were still sealed up in the box, and I was like, yes, I will go and unseal them for you right now. So I couldn't get into the box quick enough. He started with the first book, and then my youngest started with Tales of Beedle the Bard and read through that like in a day or something stupid. But they read, let me think, I think they read all the way to the restaurant, which like all the way, it's like 10 minutes away. And then we went and ordered our dinner, sat down, they pulled out their books and started reading some more. I was very, very impressed. we had other people at the restaurant notice that they were reading, and I could see the husband and wife talking to each other and smiling, and like the wife was pointing the boys out to her husband, and you just know when they're talking about your kids, and saying nice things in this case. And they gave us a big smile as they left. But I couldn't have been prouder of these two. They sat and they read the whole time, not that they waited long, but they read the whole time they waited for their food. And they were quite happy to pull out their books and keep reading after they'd eaten. So, yeah, we may have two little bookworms on our hands, which is so exciting. So exciting. Again, on this weekend, we just spent all of Saturday at my sister's place, and off their own backs, they said, we're bringing books. So we might be onto a winner here. I'm just gonna enjoy that while I can. So, like I said before, I am literally just following along the class that Sue has created. Adding in a doily, adding in some vertical pieces. I have done a V in the bottom of that ombre paper. I've torn a paper. Yes, that's correct. I've torn a paper. I'm adding some dimension here underneath my photo. Plonk that on top. Decide that's not quite right because I wanted to add some texture. So I pulled out this book. I was like, they're reading books. I can include book paper quite literally. This is not the books I was reading, obviously. I do have an old book that if I want book pages, I just tear a couple out here and there. And yeah, so I'm just adding in a few torn bits of this. Nothing really like, wow, that's out of a book. Just tucking that into my layers here and there. Ruffling it up a little bit. Making sure that I'm not getting any of the like edge, the not written on edge. And then Sue also said to include, she uses a lot of, oh my goodness, I've forgotten the name, the white fabricy stuff. I couldn't be bothered mucking around with that this day, so I pulled out this, it is plasterer's tape, maybe? I don't know what's wrong with my brain tonight, maybe I need to go to bed. So I'm just sticking all my pieces together here, just adding in a bit of glue here and a bit of glue there. I don't want everything stuck right down on all the edges. If you follow my scrapbooking normally, you know that that's not what I do. I do like messy. Using some glue to make sure that that tape doesn't move. And I have got my main cluster here. What am I doing next? Obviously not happy with something, and I'm just going to mess up all of the corners, ruffle up the edges. I'm pretty sure I do that on all the papers. Just curling it with my fingers. Those longer bits were a bit harder to do because obviously there's more paper, so. And I really like the texture and shadows and stuff that it gives. So I knew that I wanted to use Seek Adventure as my title. I'm pretty sure I cut out the bulk of this. My goodness me, this was hard work. I added this title in about 12 times before I come up on the final place for it. And I'm like, I really like this. I really like this. So I'm going to trim down the K, which I forgot I did until I edited this video. And I'm like, yep, that's going to work. I can stick the A and the D on top. And then I mucked around for ages trying to get my embellishments in. Again, I am still just following Sue's class, 3 clusters. I have these 3 mint and gold pieces that I started with, and I think A, I super sped it up, and B, I cut out a lot of it, but the awesome ends up staying up there. The flower stays where it is, and the feather also stays where it is. I'm searching through this Dear Lizzie Not Sticker book. I'm going to add, I know I add that one. I think it says Magic. And I think I add that as well. And I know I add this piece, but I think that I just use, yeah, I use it as layers so that I've got the black, the white frame with the black chalkboard kind of look. And I think I save you the pain of watching me muck around with this. I do leave a little bit of it in for you, but not much. If you can hear that, that is the wind. It is windy here in WA. Apparently we've gone from summer to winter, nothing in between. Okay, so yeah, I muck around with all of that for ages. I'm going to stick my main cluster down. I want to get a paper clip in. I try a few. This mint colour one is exactly the right colour, but it's not quite the right shape. It doesn't fit where I want it to fit. I try this orange, I think it's orange one. I'm like, nope, not quite right. So I pulled out my jar. I ended up finding one in this kind of tan skin brownie colour, which is perfect. I was like, hey, that works really well. I'm going to glue my title down. And now the rain is here as well, if you can hear that. I think everything so far is stuck down. Oh. Okay, so I'm adding some foam in here because I have these veneer feathers. I'm like, it's a Harry Potter page. Of course I can include like feathers with stars on a Harry Potter, well, it's not technically a Harry Potter page, but both the boys are reading Harry Potter books, so it works for me. And I kind of think that my kids showing interest in reading, especially when for Jacob it's a lot of really hard work, that is definitely magic. Parenting win, very proud of him, couldn't be happier. So I am gluing all my bits in. That is one of the pattern papers that I have used my label punch on. That is one of the pattern papers that I cut a heart out of. It's the same pattern paper actually. I just wanted to continue that navy blue into the 3 places. Going to pull in all of these pink hearts with that little shot of pink on the arrow on that vertical pattern paper. I thought it was perfect. I will make sure that I link Sue's class in the description box below, so if you want to follow along, make sure you head over there, give her some love. I will also link my blog post. Yes, there is a blog post both for this particular page, but also there is a blog post for the flip through of all of my layouts, including the card that I've promised you. Yeah, so I'll link all the things in the description box below. You can see I'm just mucking around, sticking all the bits down. I think there's a little bit more of me adding embellishments. Really wanted to get these feathers on the page. Really, really desperately wanted to get these feathers on the page. So I think I end up getting 4 onto the page. I was like, they don't need to be hanging, right? And that is where they ended up. They kind of look like they're falling. So that is my page. I added the same as Sue did, top and bottom little tears with some pattern paper behind them. Yeah, this was a super fun page to create. Like I said, I'll link everything in the description box below. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me on my channel. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them below. Believe it or not, we're in May. I have actually created an April kit that I have not shared and I haven't used yet. So I will do a, here is my April kit, and then maybe create something with it and then share that. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them below. And I will be back again soon with another share, no doubt. Thanks for stopping by.